Welcome back to Down Under Cruising and Travel. I'm Tony, and today I'll be taking you on a trip down memory lane for Selina and I from when we first visited Mystery Island in Vanuatu. When we first visited Mystery Island on Explorer of the Seas, we weren't sure what to expect, as we had read mixed reviews on various forums, but we'd also done some research of our own which contradicted most of the negative comments people had posted about it being boring and better to stay on the ship. Anyway, let's go and you can make up your own minds. Looking at the island from a ship, it looks inconsequential, but as you go ashore in the ship's tender, you'll be captivated by the crystal clear waters and the waving coconut palms. What we found when we reached the jetty was the best birthday present I had ever seen. It was paradise. And yes, it was my birthday. The water is so clear that you can see the ripples in the sand and the fish swimming around off the end of the jetty where it's about 20 feet deep. When you step ashore, you'll be standing on a sandy white beach that will take your breath away, and you will at last be in paradise, or as close as you'll ever get to it. The transportation on Mystery Island is local to you, your own feet. Since the island is so small, it is easy to stroll around the entire thing in approximately 40 minutes. One thing Selina and I do recommend though are reef shoes to protect your feet when in the water from the coral. We will leave a link below so that you can see what we mean. Super comfortable, thin enough to slip into flippers, and they dry out quickly. Cruise passengers, when they get off on shore, have the opportunity to see a variety of fish darting in and around the coral formations. Lucky visitors even get to see seahorses, reef sharks, and sea turtles. Now, if you're wondering about toilet facilities, as you walk off the end of the jetty, just go straight ahead, and from memory you look just slightly to your left and you'll see a concrete building there. You have full toilet facilities, and from memory there was also changing rooms. So everything is covered. Plenty of advertising for some of the various tours that you can do. Now you'll also get a taste of the local culture when the people from Aneityum come across to the island, since in addition to selling things at the market, they often put on performances for donations. Both the children and the adults come to perform traditional dance and song, and the local band is set up on the beach to serenade visitors with music while they lounge on the sand. Now you'll find that everything is just a short walk around the island. When a cruise ship is in port, the Aneityumese set up small display stalls along the beach. Many of the items you'll discover in this makeshift market are made by hand right in Vanuatu and reflect the traditional culture. You will also find postcards, t-shirts and other typical souvenirs. Now the official currency of Mystery Island is the Nai Vanuatu Vatu, but they do accept Australian dollars. What you're seeing on the screen at the moment is a stand with the kids there, and they've got banded iguanas, and you can get a photo taken with them for $5. Good value, really. Now remember, even if it's accepted, change is not always available in Australian dollars, so try and keep it to small notes like $5 and $10 notes. If you want to ensure that you can purchase whatever you like, exchange some money for the Vatu before going on your trip. You can get yourself a traditional Vanuatu massage, or get your hair braided in a Vanuatu style. This is on the opposite side of the island from the jetty where you get dropped off by the tenders. There's all sorts of cabanas and lounges that you can hire from here. Now if you go for a short walk through one of the paths and then you decide that you want to go snorkeling, there are a lot of fish out there. This is what they call a beginner's reef. But beware, if the wind is blowing from this side of the island, you will get a lot of chop, and it does tend to go down your snorkel pipe, I found out. But it's some pretty good viewing. Since the residents who live on Aneityum Island, the real name Kiamu, visit Mystery Island, you may wonder why none of them actually live on the island. It's actually steeped in superstition, and the locals believe it's haunted by spirits. At night, the locals swear the island is haunted with the mysterious spirits of their ancestors. They won't have a bar or go in there after dark. There used to be about 12,000 people on the Aneityum, but now there's just over 1,500. Food and drink available on Mystery Island depends on what the Vanuatu locals bring over to sell that day. When a cruise ship is in port, the locals bring fresh catches from the nearby sea and other local delicacies for passengers to try. Some local specialties you might see for sale include cooked spiny-nosed lobsters, flat-nosed lobsters, homemade coconut oil, kava, local coffee. Soft drinks and other food items are also sold, of course. They have a really good traditional dancing display right in the middle of the island. And of course there's always the obligatory photo opportunity at the end of it. But just don't tell them they dance like a bunch of girls. They tend to get a little bit upset. You'll see why at the end. As you can see, they get a little bit upset, and I was definitely needing one of these because I was in the soup. The most striking feature of the 1.5 square kilometre island is the large grassed airstrip that takes up most of the land area. It was actually built in 1962 and not as an emergency airstrip in World War II for military aircraft transit in the area. There never were any military personnel on the island. Today, the strip is used twice a week as the airport for nearby island Aneityum. Now the footage is going to come on the screen just now is another beginner's area for snorkeling, which is straight off the end of the airport runway. Now if it's really windy like it was when we were there on the opposite side of the island to the jetty, this is the place to go. I simply walked up to my waist in the water, dipped my face with a snorkel on in the water to see what was there, and there was fish everywhere. So I grabbed the GoPro, went back and just simply sat in the water. Within about 5 minutes, I'd seen over 25 different species of fish. It was absolutely amazing. Now, as I say, this is a beginner's snorkeling area. If you want to see Nemo, Dory and all the rest of those fish, you need to take one of the tours, which takes you out to around about 3 to 4 metre deep water. And that's where you'll find all of them. There were so many fish there. All you had to do was just stir up a little bit of the sand on the bottom and the fish would come rushing in to see if there was anything there to eat. Now the little parrotfish that you're looking at right here, I got a little bit too close to his rock, so just be aware. They will nip. It doesn't leave a mark on your skin or anything, but they come in and they sort of nudge your leg, trying to get you to move away. I moved about a foot sideways and he was quite happy again. One mystery is how the island got its name. According to locals, the island is actually called Inuk, which means small island. In 1974, Queen Elizabeth II wanted to stop on an island and go ashore for a picnic, and a reporter was trying to find out which small island she was visiting, and she got very confused when one of her aides simply said, "Some island." So the news headlines when they came out referred to the island as Mystery Island, and the name stuck. Okay, so that gives you an idea of everything that's on Mystery Island that you can do for free. If you want to do a little bit more, please go and talk to Joseph Sivu at Walking Sun Snorkeling Tours. I'll put the link in the description below. He has fishing tours, power snorkel tours, normal snorkeling tours, stand-up paddleboarding with the new see-through stand-up paddleboards. He has the cabanas on the beach lounge chairs, personal glass-bottom boats, tow tube rides, catamaran tours. Okay, so I think we'll round it up there, and I'll just leave you with a picture of Joseph and his crew and some of the offerings that you can get by booking through him. Another thing of interest on Mystery Island is that because it is so isolated, they get very, very little assistance for education. So they're desperate for school books, notebooks, pencils, erasers, pens, anything that can help them out with their schooling. There is a donation box where it can be left near the Walking Sun Tours booking office. Now Joseph can also organise village tours over to Aneityum. He has all the details for transportation offered for excursions to Aneityum, where a boat will pick you up near the tender jetty and take you on the short jaunt across the bay to see how the locals live. There's the Chium Cultural Village Tour where they do the fire walking. You can also tour the Aneityum village where the local people live, and you can learn all about their customs and day-to-day life. Now something to remember is the package deals he offers are less than half the price of what's offered on the ships. Here's the crazy bit. If you book through the ship, they're more likely to get Joseph to do the tour for them anyway at 3 times the price. Now if you like this content that we're bringing, please give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification button so that you know when we've got a new one out. Thanks for watching, everyone.